Tyler, you're first on this one.
Well, first of all, we have got to actually win wars instead of getting bogged down. My candidate was the first one to suggest a change in strategy to win the war in Iraq. My candidate was also the first one to say that we need to have a very strong well, first of all, we will increase our reputation by actually finishing what we have started. If we were to cut and run, we would lose legitimacy all throughout the world.
All right, Justin, your turn. Same question.
As a soldier in Iraq fighting the war that Senator McCain cheerleaded for heavily, I saw exactly what happens when we go into a situation without having true open discourse and a marketplace of ideas approach. The foreign policy for the past 8 years of the United States has not been a marketplace of ideas. We've been afraid to ask other nations what their opinion is. We've been afraid to ask our own dissenters in our own country what better ideas would be. We've been afraid to have a civil discourse, and that's as un-American as it gets. If anything, Afghanistan has proven that we need cooperation internationally to succeed anywhere within our country or elsewhere. Senator McCain was wrong on Iraq from the beginning. I think that with a surge, anytime you create a police state, you're going to lower the violence. If you put 1 million police officers in New York City, there's going to be no crime. I think that Senator Obama, by being able to speak with other people and allowing people to disagree with him, he will harken back to the days where America is not afraid to ask others of their opinion, find out what's right in the marketplace of ideas. And in that marketplace, the best ideas will rise to the top, and usually those will be American.
All right. Tyler, your 1 minute rebuttal.
Thank you. First of all, is it not true that your candidate Obama would have sat down with terrorist sponsoring dictators such as Hugo Chavez and Ahmadinejad? I think that sitting down and creating legitimacy for terrorist-loving dictators such as those that I've mentioned and others destroys the credibility of America. It shows that we are weak. It shows that we are not to be trusted to defend their interests as well as ours. And that, my friend, is not something that will increase our credibility. We must have a very strong presence in world affairs if we are to maintain our credibility that we have already. I do believe that there were mistakes made, and I do believe that George W. Bush has reduced the credibility of America, and I will work and my candidate will work to change that.
Okay, Justin.
If you had not debated me today, I would say that you were weak and you were afraid. You should never be afraid of talking to someone with different ideas, whether you call them a terrorist or some other label. Our country has overthrown governments. We supported the Shah of Iran in 1953, and he went on to have the 25 most terrible, despotic years as a dictator in that country. That's what led to the Iranian hostage crisis of 1979, and that's what happens when America does not open themselves to other ideas. Our country was friends with Saddam Hussein. Reagan met with Gorbachev when others were saying that he was a terrible, terrible person and leader of a terrible, terrible country, and that he should not do that. Reagan showed you should never be afraid of your enemy, never be afraid to sit down with them, never be afraid to go to war with the mind.
All right. Gentlemen, it looks like we've run out of time. Thank you for both for participating tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Cecilio, back to you at the news desk.
Thanks so much, Kyle. We're still live streaming over the internet from our CUTV studio in the basement of the administration building. We want to remind you that you can go to cunews.webpaint.com, post any blogs, and also be part of our discussion board. And you can also follow the links and watch all of our live election coverage. We'd like to give a special thanks to Tyler Johnson and Justin Clyburn for stopping by the studio. It's great that we're on a campus and we can find such intelligent debaters like them. Thanks again. We'll be back at 8. I'm Cecilia Ramirez.